Hi everyone, this is Manish, founder and CEO of Flexprice, and this is day 2 of Flexprice Commit, our weekly launch series. Is your billing platform creating more spreadsheet than invoices? Then this job is for you. So we'll start with one-off invoices. For companies, for enterprise customers specifically, you generally get these requirements of saying, hey, we would need an implementation fee, a support fee, or maybe some add-ons on top of it. And finance team just generally juggles with invoicing system and billing systems in between. Now in Flexprice, you can simply come here and create one-off invoices directly. So you can just simply come here, you can say add-on for implementation fees. The quantity is one, it's a $10,000 add-on. You can create an invoice, and now this invoice is ready to be sent for payments and everything else. Next, we have custom invoice numbers. So for companies who are dealing with enterprise customers, there are generally cases where for certain countries there is a different invoice sequence number that you would want to do. If you are listed in marketplace, there is a separate invoice sequence number. This generally becomes a pain for finance teams to manage internally. And this is why we have built custom invoice number configuration directly into Flexprice. So what you can simply do is, for example, this is the default way how the invoice number sits into Flexprice system, and let's say we'll change it to something else. And you can simply send the invoice, and now this new sequence of invoice is created in Flexprice system. You can see it here. So this is how you can manage multiple invoice sequences when you are scaling into multiple geographies with Flexprice. Next is Flexprice now have a credit balance with transparent ledger. So what you can simply do is, if you want to assign credits to certain customers, which is generally the use case for AI and agentic companies, you can simply come here, you can assign let's say 50 to 100 credits, and now the ledger gets created here. So you'll see there is a free ledger, there is a free credit ledger showing up here. What you can also do is you can top up the wallet by let's say some free credits, which is 10,000. You can define a date of expiry and maybe define some priorities as well, and you can simply add the credit. You can also choose to add some purchase credits as well. So I'm adding let's say $500 worth of credits. There can be certain priority to it as well, and can be some date as well. So all of these credits are shown here, what the customer has purchased. So this is another workflow where all of the credit ledger you don't need to maintain on your end, and Flexprice maintains all of these credit ledgers. What I'll do now is, let's say we have a pending invoice, and now we record payment. I'll pay by credits, and now when I record the payment, this is being settled by credit. So if you go back to the wallet, you'll see there is another transaction which has been made around invoice payments. So this is how you can use credits into Flexprice workflow as well. Then coming up next, you can also pay certain transactions on Flexprice via credit notes. So what essentially credit notes generally do is, for example, there is a user who have paid you let's say $100 worth of invoice, and now you guys are trying to settle in some dispute, and you want to give him let's say $20 back, right? So what we'll do is, let's say there is this paid invoice of $100. You come here, you issue a credit note, and credit note define the reason. For example, there is some unsatisfactory service, or maybe some duplicate transaction got recorded and anything else, and you can simply say, hey, there is let's say a $50 $10 credit note that I would want to create. You just simply create a credit note, and the note gets created within the next transaction. So this is how credit note can be used. There can be two mechanisms to use credit note. Either you provide a refund to the credit note, or you provide adjustment to the unpaid invoices as well. And not just that, if your customers tell you that there are certain changes in the events that you would need to readjust in your final invoicing, you can simply do it with Flexprice. So what you can do is, there is a simple script that I'll run. This script will put in some events into one of these invoices, and see, there is this invoice which got drafted. So new events had been ingested into the Flexprice system, and now we'll regenerate the new invoice for the same. So you go here, you simply enter it, and the new invoice is generated. Yeah, so this is the finalized invoice. Earlier this was $100, and now if you see, there is an adjustment of some usage events, which is 396 events, $198, and the final invoice is $298. So this way, if there are certain changes in the usage entities that you have already consumed, you can simply go into Flexprice system, change it with a few clicks here and there, and you are done. This is it for the launch day today. Stay tuned with Flexprice, and we have more cool things coming up in the week.